Battle for the Mediterranean is about to begin. Hey, how's it going, guys? My name is Jackie Fish and welcome back to some more Divide et Impera. We are jumping into a battle taken from the multiplayer campaign between me and Republic of Clay. Darren is now invading Italy, and this battle is crucial for his supply lines and for his reinforcing armies to continue the invasion of Italy. And it is crucial for us as we are jumping in as the AI, playing as the Roman fleets. It is very important for us to slow him down, to destroy his fleets, to make him spend manpower, money and supplies on rebuilding this and honestly keeping Rome alive. If Rome lose their fleets and they lose control over the Mediterranean in this head-to-head, it spells the end for them. They won't be able to ferry men back from Greece. They won't be able to prevent Darren from landing more troops in Italy. So this battle is extremely important and it's going to be an insane one. And it's not too often we get to take a look at naval battles. So I wanted to go ahead and do this one just to basically, show you guys that naval battles can be fun and they do have strategic layers to them. As I feel like I employed a pretty good strategy in this battle that at least wounded Darren enough or maybe even won the battle. Because again, remember, these are taken from a campaign, a multiplayer campaign we do every single Wednesday. So, this battle translates onto the campaign map. So it's not all about just winning a battle. It's about wounding your opponents so that they have to spend population and money on Divide et Impera to replenish their armies. It's about a lot more than just winning. And you should definitely check out the live streams every single Wednesday if you do enjoy it. So right now, I'm commanding a Roman fleet. I have this fleet right here, which you can currently see, basically all missiles and the general ship. And then I have this fleet reinforcing that has a lot more melee ships, has a lot more heavier general ships and stuff like that, going up against a completely formed fleet from Darren. So obviously Darren's plan is to divide and conquer me, right? He wants to split me in the middle so that my reinforcement ships can't meet up with my main ship line. But I decided, I kind of came up with a good idea. Seeing that my navy was completely ranged in this battle, I kind of looked at this and I was like, yeah, let's maybe try and go a bit, as an artillery round comes in, just missing a bit short there from Darren's artillery ship. I thought, let's go a little bit Napoleonic on this bitch. Let's set up our missile line and basically just let Darren kind of like curve into me like he's doing right now. And we'll just shoot at him. We'll pick off soldiers. We'll try and clear the decks from sailors and move on from that. Because let me tell you, look, you can quite quickly wipe out enemy ships, especially these smaller ones, which only have, like 60 men in. You can clear these ships out very, very quickly. Luckily for Darren, though, he does have ships of slingers, Balearic slingers, which are pretty scary. So these are going to be immediately clinging along and just trying to pick off my ships at range. But as soon as we start to get a little bit closer, my archers will get in range, and so will my javelins as well. And the javelins will devastate. So my plan right now is just to simply move my ship line as far away as I can, try and just like goad him in so that by the time he does kind of wrap around, my main fleet of melee ships will come in, and these guys will be my ramming ships right now. I've got a lot more heavier ships here, the 80-man triremes, I've got some 140-man ships. They're pretty scary. So right now, I'm just trying to continue to curve my ships. You can see I've basically left these ships for dead right now, and now my javelins are clearing out his decks pretty effectively. However, I did unfortunately get a little bit stuck here. And Darren's missiles are also hurting me pretty heavily in this battle. But I'm able to kind of stay away from him with the majority of my ships. I've got him trailing here, which is nice for me. And he's focusing a lot of his missiles on these smaller ships here as well, which I'm not really too fussed about losing. Like, I'm happy, if he's going to, focus his ammunition on these javelins, because once they throw their load, they don't really have much more to replenish that. So they're going to continue just to hammer away. And you can see I'm clearing out these 100-man decks very effectively with these javelins. So I feel like my strategy right now is doing a pretty good job. I went ahead and basically sacrificed one of my ships here. I think I actually managed to sink one of his with that ram, with the larger one. So I was like, he's going to kind of catch me. I need to kind of bide myself a bit more time. So what I decided to do was just kind of throw forward one of the bigger ships, and that javelin throw right there, clearing out a large amount of these guys, killing like 20 of them with that javelin throw. And I just kind of decided to commit this ship, again getting another pretty good ram off onto his deck right there. And I just hope that would buy me enough time. Again, you can see these rear ships, which is basically what Darren is focusing. He hasn't really rotated to meet me. And again, in a battle like this, I mean, just look, Rome 2 naval battles aren't exactly the best mechanically. But you can see Darren has a massive clump of ships here, and it's going to become an absolute mess any second now. So, realistically, this is paying off for me in the chaos. Darren's going to be, you know, trying to rotate ships, which are going to be getting stuck on other ships, and it's going to be very difficult for him to move around. I mean, just look at this. I'm trying to do a rotation maneuver, and I'm already getting stuck, and I'm in a pretty easy position. So for him, it's going to be very difficult to kind of rotate around to face onto my incoming fleet, which is, you know, going to be coming in and just completely wrapping around. So right now, even though Darren does have the superior navy, you know, I'm feeling pretty confident with this. My range has done its job. It's sacrificed itself. But it's brought down a lot of these ships. Unfortunately, one of my ships does just get broken down there as the Balearic Slingers continue to hammer on. But I feel like I definitely have the momentum right now. I've got a lot of these Javelin ships just, again, focusing down a lot of missiles coming in. And again, just trying to wipe out these decks to these smaller ships. With a nice little ram there as well to keep it off back right there. Some nice Cretan archers. Again, just picking off. Yeah, I'm just trying to reduce the amount of ships, thin them out. And this strategy has actually worked really well for me. Because I've kind of thinned out his ships. And now the rest of my navy, my heavier hitting navy is coming in. My bigger command ships are moving in. And just look at this, you know, like Darren is kind of like stuck in the water right now. The fact that he did try and, you know, envelop my fleet and I ran away, I think really put him at a disadvantage because, you know, now he didn't rotate fast enough. Maybe if he would have rotated a little bit quicker, he could have come around to deal with this. However, this battle is obviously still nowhere near done at all. He's doing a great job of destroying my southern ships. All my smaller kind of decoy ships have now been surrounded. However, I'm going to get in a really nice hit right here. You can see my men moving in right now. Lots of javelins coming in and again just clearing out these decks. And kind of my ploy has worked very effectively. It's now coming in. I'm hammering these ships. Even my Marines are doing a great job of moving in. However, Darren's kind of managed to, you know, like kind of steady the ship, as it were. He's managed to kind of bring around his detachment over here. And they're starting to rotate in now. And they're going to kind of hit me in the side now. Again, another really nice round there by his general's ship. These ones are obviously extremely tanky and almost one-shotting my ship right there. Luckily, the Roman, I think, tech is keeping them alive. Again, more javelins as well, just breaking them. And you can see the morale is dropping heavily. Another ram about to come in. And that's going to send the ship to the decks as the Marines just get cleared out. So let's just stick it on slow-mo really quickly so we can take a nice little look of the overview, because these naval battles do tend to be a little bit fast. But as you can see, my navy is currently engaged. A lot of missiles coming in. I've got my melee ships down here, really just trying to do some good damage. And again, Darren is getting really stuck on his own ships right now. Some of my other Marine ships are going to get stuck in, doing some head-to-heads. Darren is going to come out on top on both of these, sinking 2 of my ships, which is pretty catastrophic for me. However, it is going to line me up for a nice little charge here, as I have one of my fire ships moving in. And I think this does one-shot the enemy ship, or it does a lot of damage to the ship. Yeah, it seems like these fire ships do a good, like, 15% on impact, and then they might cause a fire. So yeah, this fire ship is actually pretty cool. The pots do some decent damage, and that could be all the difference between sinking a ship and not. So yeah, at this point, even after my strategy has really been employed, I'm pretty scared, honestly. You know, like, Darren has got a lot more ships left than I do. However, I'm feeling pretty confident in the fact that I've managed to deal with a large amount of his big ships. Like, a lot of his big ships are here, and they're about to be enveloped by my ships, with my bigger ships. You know, my general ships are about to come in. This artillery ship is going to be going down pretty soon. You know, got a ship over here I'm surrounding. So, like, I've managed to get my best soldiers pretty much stuck down. My Rangers are doing good at just, you know, pinning down his enemy ships. And, you know, he's kind of got, like, kind of his big ships and his small ships left. A lot of his medium ships aren't really there. We get another beautiful double ram there onto this ship. And that's going to sink that one, send it to the bottom of the ocean. I think this is being fought in the Adriatic. More rams coming off. Going to be sending that artillery ship down very, very quickly. And again, I still have a lot of missiles left, and I'm going to be focusing heavily down this larger ship of Marines, trying to bring it down so that if he does board me, I'm not going to be struggling too much. There you go. The consistent ramming of my missile ship does bring down his artillery ship. And as you can see, I've managed to kind of pin this one in place again. A lot of my ships moving in. They're rowing back. They're rowing forth. Again, another smash off there. And again, I'm going to be bringing down this another super large ship. You know, this is a massive one, and it does go down. And he just hasn't really been able to get a lot of his bigger ships into that ramming speed position, because they've just been kind of blocked off from his own ships. And again, like, a lot of these ships that moved all the way around my flank are now only just turning up, and that's giving me perfect time. My light missile ships are out of ammunition, so now I can just use them as sacrificial lambs. And all of a sudden, the battle has completely turned on in my favor, right? A second ago, it looked like Darren really had this with his, large amount of ships coming around there. However, a couple good sinkings there of his ships, really frees up a large amount of my heavier ones. I mean, I can just move in, and the battle's looking pretty good for me. We're about to get another ram off right there. Oh, my ship goes flying. Brutal stuff. To Neptune with you, my boys. Wow, that's brutal. Some of my missiles actually managed to sink one of Darren's ships there as well, or rout it at least, which is nice. And yeah, I've managed to really just get a good setup here. Another good ram off here. Darren is going to get a good hit into the side of my ship. Looks like that bugged out. Yeah, you can see naval battles do have a few issues here and there, but still cool nonetheless. And that's going to kind of stick him in the water. His sails have been risen up, and that's going to allow me to move in momentarily. Another ship being sunk there, being ripped apart, and my Romans. So again, Darren's done a great job there, but I managed to bide enough time to bring around them ships there and reinforce this area. The battle is still extremely close. Darren has brought balance of power back in his favor. But again, this is still very much of a mess. When your ships do get tangled up like this, they find it very hard to move and rotate, which does become very difficult. Again, I'm going to get another big hit off of there. And we're doing some really good damage. I've got a nice, permanent ram off on this ship, and it's kind of being blocked in by one of his own naval vessels, which is pretty good for me. And I've kind of got him on the run right now. I'm about to move in and get another nice good little hit off on that ship. So I do about 50% damage on these ships, which is nice. And we're just bombarding his last general ship as heavily as I can. You can see this one is very low on morale, so if I can board it, I'll bring that down. I think that's going to be it for this big ship. I think it is sinking. Yeah, we've managed to stick a hole in, and now the Titanic, and you got my huge one. Roma Invictus, look at that bad boy. Just coming closer. I think it stopped because the ship did sink, going down to the bottom of the sea. And in the mayhem, I managed to get some really nice rams off on Darren's ships, and they're getting pretty low. A lot of these guys are almost being destroyed, especially now I've taken back one again. That's going to free up a lot more of my ships, and my other ones have managed to rotate around. I'm about to come in here again. This might be enough to destroy it. I'm not sure though, because it is a medium-sized ship. The men do rotate. I think that's just enough. Yeah, it's one more hit and that ship will go down. But I have got some more nice rotations, and I'm basically just trying to rotate my men up as best as I can. Let's get on board with this one. Oh, just sending them flying. Man, naval battles are pretty crappy in Rome 2. Honestly, they really needed a lot more development time. But they can still be very satisfying, and I still think there's strategy involved, At the end of the day, both players have to deal with the issues. They definitely could be a million times better, but they're still pretty fun. And it does look like after that last little engagement right there, my navy is going to come out on top for Rome. So that's a big score for the AI. Obviously, I'm playing as Seleucids in this campaign against Darren, who was playing as Carthage. But every single victory we take in this battle is huge, because it just means that Rome survives that little bit longer. They can then attack cities. They can then do so much more of this navy if I can keep it alive, if I can destroy Darren's fleet. But it also means Darren has to spend money, rebuilding this fleet rather on new armies or buildings or whatever he wants to do, diplomacy. So, just these battles are so fun, and, it's so great playing these head-to-head campaigns, because you basically get rid of the worst part of Total War, and that is the AI. So, by playing these head-to-heads as Darren does, just destroy one of my ships again, but I'm going to be able to return the favor right there and rip him apart, and now he only has, 2 ships left. But yeah, it's awesome being able to replace the worst part of a Total War, which is obviously the AI, and just have the other person command. And we also play with rules and stuff like that as well, which is great. Actually, he's trading ships there, which is kind of good for me, as his one is much bigger. Rome is mother to us all. I mean, just look at the brave men. That's a pretty cool screenshot right there, as the men do sink themselves. Something like that. Yeah, let's do something like that. Awesome. Yeah, so it's really awesome. I highly recommend that you guys do check out the head-to-heads, because they're only going to get better and better. Even if you're I think we're 10 streams in, but do not worry if you have not seen any of them, because they only get better and better. The bigger we get, the more exciting battles we have, and then we get closer and closer to fighting one another, which will be the most exciting part of this campaign, because we'll have 2 huge empires, Seleucids and Carthage, duking it out between each other. It's going to be insane. The strategy Because, again, we're going to have pretty much the same armies. We're going to have pretty much, you know, the same economy. It's going to be a big hit right there. You know, it's only going to get more and more exciting when we actually come to player v player empires, and probably by that time there'll be no massive empires really left alive, so it will just be like, you know, a lot of fighting between us, which is really good. And as I was saying, we do have rules and stuff about fighting boring battles. We're not allowed to do it. We fight kind of role-play, so we obviously fight very seriously, but we don't make decisions just to, like, you know, game the game, if it makes sense. We don't try and abuse mechanics or, you know, do random diplomacy that, you know, our faction wouldn't really do, or just declare war on someone because we're going to win. We want to create the most exciting battles, and we still are very, very competitive as well. As you go, the last couple of ships going down. So yeah, that was a pretty nice win for us, honestly. Really nice win for us, and also a nice win for the Roman Navy. So Rome did lose a decent portion of their fleet. I think they had about, you know, 6, 7, 8 ships left. But Darren lost his entire fleet, and these ships were expensive, you know. This will cost him like a good 10 grand to rebuild. So I was very happy with that, and also hopefully we take up some population as well. The bigger ships do take up a lot of population from the cities, you know, which he's not going to be able to replenish constantly. I mean, for the most part, I believe Carthage has mainly like 4th class recruitment, but still, you know, even these elite units, you know, the less sacred band I see on the battlefield, the better. So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed that battle. If you did, make sure to drop a like and a comment down below, considering supporting me on Patreon or supporting me over on YouTube by hitting that join button and checking out the rewards there. And yeah, I'll see you guys hopefully next Wednesday, and fish out.